Music. I'm not your father. Right? Let's get that clear. Right? It's not Dad. Don is okay. Right. Well, first of all, thanks to Liam and Emma for what a wonderful job they're doing tonight. Big shout out to Marvel Studios to let the son of Thor come do a little DNC. And Emma, I was going to say Ant-Man's daughter, but I won't, so I'll leave it. Anyhow, thank you all for being here today, sharing this real special day with all of us, with Mary and Dave, the Stasica family, the Thompson family. Reminds me of a lesson my grandfather taught me years ago when I was 9 years old. 9 years old, and Garth can attest to it, out in a grain truck, driving a 3-ton grain truck with 400 bushel on it. Ty, we got some work to do here, pal. My grandpa was explaining to me how to split shift transmission while I'm taking the load to the bin. And I was doing what all 9-year-olds do. I was counting the number of bushel, the price of grain, and how rich my dad was gonna be. My grandpa quickly interrupted me and he explained, he said, Don, the wealth of a person isn't the number of bushel in a bin. It's not the acres in the field. It's not the price of grain that day. It's the number of lives you meet along the way. And today, with you people here, the ones that would love to be here that can't be, and the ones that are up above looking down, you two, at a young age, are two of the wealthiest people I know. Well done. Now, as Jen kind of introduced me, when us Thompsons get in front of a microphone, silly things start to happen. Usually it's an audio-visual show with some fun poked at it, right, Amy? There you go. Unfortunately for me, my film and production team from Toronto showed up late this week. They said it was technical difficulties, so I went to an old adage. It says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So there's no pictures, so strap in, we're here for 1,000 words. Just the other day, Jill reminded me of a little story. Now, Amy, I know you're going to tell me to get new material, but I think we can make this work. A couple of weeks ago, the girls were at Courtney's stagette in the Forks. Right, Brett? There was a stagette. I don't know if you knew about it. And something, Jill said something peculiar was really going on with Mary that night. And so what was going on is, as the evening wore on, and Mary had a drink, Mary would dig deep in her purse and pull out a picture. And as she looked at this picture, she would sigh, she would smile, she'd put the picture away and order another drink. This went on throughout the evening, sigh, smile, give me another round. Then finally, Jill, her curiosity got to it. Didn't you, Jill? You remember the story, don't you? Yeah, okay. Go with it. There you go, there you go. Jill finally goes, Mary, notice that every time you have a drink and you finish it, you look at this picture. Who's the picture of? Mary quickly explained, Jill, it's a picture of Dave. And everybody goes, wow, that's awesome, young love. Yep, Mary goes, and when Dave looks taller, I'm gonna go home. Jen and I have had the pleasure of attending a couple of weddings the last few Saturdays. And I've watched and listened to some fathers of the bride welcome their new son-in-law into their families. So it seems that we're supposed to put a few thoughts together of our first recollection and introduction of Dave. So if those that know me, I can't remember what happened yesterday. So Jen reminded me our first introduction of Dave. It started off on a real cold Sunday morning in January when Jen and I are out shoveling all the snow off of our walks as our teenage kids are sleeping in. All of you parents know that. And Mary comes walking down 21st Street wearing a gray Bobcat volleyball jacket. So unbeknownst to me, because I'm not really aware of anything, Jen goes, "So Mary, where were you last night?" I think we know, as Shanley explained. "Oh, I was at Shanley's and I had to borrow her jacket to come home." Okay, that works. A couple of weeks later, the jacket shows up again. I finally had enough of this. I had to get to Jen. "What happens with this jacket, Jen? What's going on?" Jen quickly explains to me. She goes, "Don, you're a high school teacher. You gotta know what's going on. You know. You need to now have that conversation with your daughter. Dads out there, you know the conversation we're talking about." So I reached out and I started going, "The conversation. This is my chance to shine. Dads, hey, this is us. This is when we're a parent now. We can be a parent." So I reached out to a couple of friends of mine. I thought I'd get a little advice before I had the conversation. I reached out to my friend Brett Norton, golf buddy. I said, "Brett, I got this issue with this jacket. What do you think?" And he quickly pointed out and he goes, "Don, it's time for the conversation." I said, "Awesome. Thanks for the advice." I reached out to Police Sergeant Guy Roberts, right? As I found out last week, that actually kept my daughter out of jail all during high school. Jesus, Mary, you and I are talking still. Guy immediately tells me, "Don, the conversation has to happen." So then I thought, you know what, there's one more person that I need to talk to. One person that so many of you know in here, the big Aristotle, the man with so many thoughts and so few words. I called Russ Paddock. I go, "Russ, what's going on with this gray jacket? What's happening?" Russ hesitated and hesitated. Conversation. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. So I pulled Mary aside, I sat her down, I said, "Mary, this is a difficult conversation with me, but we have to have it." Okay, she looked me eye to eye and I said, "Here's the question, Mary, you gotta tell me what's going on." I said, "Do you need a new coat?" And Dave, that's why my Father of the Year nomination gets ripped up in January every year. So a few weeks later, we met the man in the coat. He showed up for a movie and then a double feature. Next thing you know, it was movie marathons. And as Paige reminded me the other day, Couch Boy became part of our lives. Typically as fast as ever, Dave. So after messing up the coat conversation, I said, you know what, I do have some friends. I know it's doubtful, but I do have some friends that coach Bobcat volleyball. So I reached out to them and I said, "Guys, I need to know something about this new guy in my daughter's life." He said, "Not a problem, Don. We'll keep reporting to you." So we use a special code name. Code name Polish Prince. Yeah. So often on the road, I'd be getting texts back and forth. "PP, Mary, late dinner, Boston Pizza." Awesome. "PP, little talk in the lobby." So Dad actually was with you all these times, man. You didn't know, right? My spies did good work, and Jen and I became very comfortable with Dave. Patience is my next one. Dave, through the last, I thought it was 10 I wrote, but I guess it's 12. I'm glad I'm paying attention. It's taken a little bit of patience, and I would certainly say we persevered. Patience the first time you walked into my house with the LeBron James Cleveland Cavaliers jersey. Seriously. Yeah. Real patience when you walked into my house and Jake's with the LeBron James Lakers jersey into my house. Patience as our downstairs washroom has an inordinate amount of hair conditioner. And patience as I went to watch my 10 p.m. Sports Center and Couch Boys in my chair. Most importantly, you've been very patient with the Thompson family. So just as the Stazkas had a tradition, there are traditions in the Thompson family. And this is probably a prairie tradition that a lot of people know, but it's definitely one that's dear to our hearts. And in fact, my good friend Ken Snyder grew up in Saskatchewan. We practice this tradition lots in our acreages on 21st Street. My father, Mary's grandpa Glenn, would seal the closure of a deal of selling farm equipment, getting the crop in the spring, getting the harvest off in the fall. A deal was never settled until we had a rye, usually at Gibson's, and Coke. Tess is delivering the rye and Coke to you. After watching the ceremony today, I would have assumed that it would have been a lot easier just to have a rye and Coke out there for everybody than signing some papers while they're waiting in the sun. All right? Today. Now, you probably thought I was done. Yeah, somebody said no. Exactly.
11 minutes.
Nor, you know it. Now, many of you probably have forgotten or don't know that 30 years ago, I was welcomed into the Saxton family out in Truro, Nova Scotia. See, Dave, to know Mary is to know that Mary's not just a prairie girl. Mary has blue noser, maritime blood that's flowing through her, through and through. And so at this time, I would like to bring up Kevin, Terry, Sean, and Tim Saxton to introduce you to the Saxton side of the family, Dave.
Sorry, this is sort of a last minute thing, so we're going to just give us like 30 seconds to set up here. And anyway, welcome from the Saxons of Nova Scotia, from my beautiful sister Jenny. Welcome and thank you for being here. So the tradition down home, some of you might have heard of screeching in, the Newfoundlanders have. Well, in Nova Scotia, we have sort of the same tradition. We do it with black rum, we do it with mackerel instead of cod, but the process is the same. So Dave, we're going to ask you to come up. Now, he's got to put on the sou'westerner, because that's just the way it goes. Now, sorry about the hair, buddy. I've heard a lot about it today, and I apologize. Strap in, buddy, because it's going to take a while. So what we're going to do, I'm going to recite a couple of questions for you. They're very easy. Of course, you're going to say yes. Yes, buddy. Yes, buddy. Okay? And then we're going to get you to kiss the mackerel, drink some dark rum, and it's all official. Then it's official.
Still going out east and do the same thing.
Oh, absolutely. So down home, Nova Scotians are called blue noses. We're very proud of that. Just like Newfies are very proud of being Newfies, and New Brunswick, they're very proud of being herring chokers. For some reason. But anyway, so the question is, do you want to be a blue noser boy?
Yes, I do.
Yes, buddy.
Yes, buddy.
Yes, buddy. How are you social?
Yes, buddy.
Yes, buddy. Right on. So the process now, Dave, we're going to present you with our beautiful mackerel. You got to kiss it right in the mouth. Hey! Now we're going to ask everyone to grab a drink. And as we say down home, social